Hello, Leo friends. How are you guys? Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. I'm so happy to have the Leo gang here with me on YouTube today. We are going to do general messages for the sign of Leo, however you resonate with that. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for money and career tarot messages, okay? So this is going to be roughly middle of December into middle of January is what I'm reading for. As always, it's your job to come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, and ultimately to pick apart the messages that you feel are meant for you. Use your intuition, your inner guidance system to take away messages that are helpful, that are empowering, that are inspiring for you. That is my goal here today. If something doesn't fit your circumstance or scenario, you can release it. You can drop it like it's hot. That means it's probably energy that I'm picking up on that is not yours. It's probably a message for someone else. That being said, sometimes messages will resonate in the future later down the line. So if later on something strikes a chord, take it and run with it. Bottom of your deck, Knight of Cups. Ooh, I love that. And King of Wands, that's you. An offer being made to potentially you, Leo. Is it something in alignment with your heart, some sort of opportunity that's going to make you happy? Wow, you actually have a couple nights. So you have movement and change coming in. Interesting. Especially while you're at home, like kind of maybe with the family for the holidays, something about being in the home space, taking care of the ones you love. It's almost like something is being orchestrated in the background and like movement and changes coming into your life, especially if you're looking for an offer or even if it's not a new job, it's some sort of change or shift in potentially the power dynamic at work. And it may involve in like currency, money flow, as well as, like physical money as well, building upon your bank account, upon your finances. Very interesting. Very interesting. But with that power comes a lot of responsibility to do the right thing. And yeah, there's something about devil energy coming up of make sure you don't abuse the power. Make sure you don't. I'm so sorry, Leo. My camera froze. So yeah, there's something here about as you ascend in power and maybe rise, like, I don't know, through the company. I don't know if it's like a corporate thing or what, a promotion, a title change. Just be careful that you're using the power wisely. Something about not taking advantage of the situation, being like a just and fair ruler. It's like using your, magic powers for good. There's that sort of energy going on here. Because yeah, this is a brand new opportunity. There's a golden opportunity to make sure it blooms and grows and develops. Like, I want to say in healthy soil. You want to get it away from like the toxins of what could taint the opportunity that's trying to come into you. Interesting. Well, so we'll revisit that as that comes through, but that was kind of a random message that kind of just jumped out at me immediately. So let's go ahead and shuffle some more cards on this. Actually, we'll do it as we go. So your energy coming into mid-month, into again, middle of January. Wow, you have the World. All right, very interesting. So with the World, it's completions of major cycles. It's the last card in the major arcana, the story of the Fool's Journey. So it's closing things out, and that kind of makes sense with the new year. Lots of people like to make New Year's resolutions or, get their head back in the game of where they may have, fallen off the horse, pun intended, right? Yeah, getting back out there, putting resumes up, if you're looking for a new job, or again, putting in more work, more energy, and yeah, and like boss mode, boss lady, boss man mode, So what is this world about? Let's clarify. What is the world about for my Leos? Something about freedom, feeling like you've accomplished everything that you were meant to accomplish in a certain scenario or even a certain time frame. So now it's like you're ready to fly, you're ready to move on. Flight might be important. So for some of you, I don't know, visiting relatives, maybe over the holidays, you may literally be flying or doing some travel. For some of you in 2020, you're looking to expand your company or business and go worldwide, establishing it could be a website, World Wide Web, but it could also be traveling across the world to a different country, or even to, it could even be like a different state or a different city. It doesn't have to be worldwide, but yeah, expanding a network of some kind. Because again, there's been some sort of major accomplishment with the World. It's frequently, I see it as a card of like graduation. So whatever it is you're graduating from, it doesn't have to literally be school or classes, but there's an accomplishment of some kind. And yeah, it's like you've raised the bar of what you are able to accomplish. So it's like you're ready to go after new things. It's funny, Nine of Wands has come up a lot, and you actually have it here twice. It's right under that devil energy. And here it's called, it's death. So here it's clarifying the world. I'm getting that you were able to fly past something that was trying to keep you stuck, and I do want to say it is a form of a person. So maybe that energy of ruling with kindness, whereas I don't know, as opposed to the opposite, not being a fair dictator or a fair ruler. Sorry, someone using their power not in the best way. Someone who's kind of vibing lower and yeah, sort of an abuse of power. It seems like there may have been an obstacle or someone who was like bitter or jealous of your success or of your good fortune. Again, it seems like you're going places. There is or is going to be some sort of movement or change in your career and finances for the better. You have the Knight of Money and the Knight of money flow, essentially, right? I really like those cards for you. An Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning, a new opportunity, a bankable opportunity, something you can capitalize on. It seems like you've had to extend a lot of work and energy. And I'm getting competition here. These to me look like two different people. And I don't know why, but I feel like this is you. This is your energy. Whether you're masculine or feminine, it doesn't matter. It feels like a competition. Like you may have been neck and neck for a position with someone else. And it was almost like who's going to give out first? Who's going to tap out first? It's like metaphorically, you both have a mountain to climb with all these burdens, these weights on your back. You know, you have to extend a certain amount of energy and put in all the hard work and all your passion, right? To prove your skills, to show that you are the most qualified, to show that you are a master of this skill, of this talent. This is the artisan, you know, the apprentice, so to say. But with Eight of Wands, it's fast and rapid action or movement, swift action. So it's almost like metaphorically a race car. You guys are both going around the track, and all of a sudden it's like you shift gears and you pull up ahead, and it aggravated someone. It like ruffled their feathers. Yeah, something about like a head to head, a fight to the death type energy. Very much competition. Competitive energy. So you may work in some sort of like sales team where everybody, like every penny counts, and you're measuring up to someone who maybe you guys are going after the same position or going after the same bonus. It feels competitive. And it also feels stressful. It doesn't feel like friendly competition. It feels like things took a turn and went kind of sour. And maybe you decided to leave. For some of you, the idea of flight, leaving the snake behind, there may have been like some shady leadership or mentorship that you didn't morally or ethically agree with, and you may have felt like you were pitted against someone, like this wasn't something you desired, but ultimately, yeah, it did kind of come down to this weird competitive vibe between you and someone else. And so I think you're questioning the leadership of why would you allow this to happen? Why would you allow us to be put in this position where it does feel very, very cutthroat? What an interesting message, Leo. Even this, it's like a race. There's two different competitors. Now, granted, you're fire, but someone may have very strong earth in their chart and the other one water. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And yet it's like a race to the end. It's a race to the finish line. And even this feels like a finish line to me too, but I am getting like the person overseeing this competition or setting the rules, or I don't know, something about it. It's being orchestrated in the background, and it's a little bit shady. There is something about a power dynamic, but it's not the best use of someone's power. It feels like they're playing puppet master and kind of they're getting some sort of pleasure out of being like a manipulator, something like that. Interesting. So if any of that's resonating and some of you are feeling like the strain of some sort of competition or conflict, it does seem like freedom rests ahead, but you're probably going to have to separate yourself from the situation and move on. That doesn't necessarily mean having to leave your place of work, but giving it some space and distance. So if you can, go away for the holiday or take a few days off and kind of hit reset and take care of yourself, that might be in your best interest. Yeah. Because something about this situation isn't going to budge unless you give it some air, give it some breathing space, give it some time, give it some room. The 4 fixed zodiacs are shown on this card. So Scorpio, you, Leo, Taurus, and Aquarius. And something about this is saying to me, something is very, a couple things. Unshakable, I think that's talking about your ability to push through and make it to the finish line. You will. If you set your mind to it, right, Leo? You're the king of the jungle. Like, you can accomplish anything you want to. But also something about the fixed, like rooted in the ground. People are clinging on to this for dear life. So something about if you guys are working on a project together, it's being suffocated because there's too much ego involved. Or there's too many cooks in the kitchen. Yeah, very interesting message. It does sort of feel like a toxic environment. Yeah, okay. And so here's what I'm getting from this. You can put in as much fight and energy and efforts that you want in order to like win the prize, win the bonus, you know, try and fight your way to get to that new title versus the other person, your opponent. But it may set you up for failure. The card Poverty is coming up specifically around this opportunity where an opponent is bitter and jealous. It's not the correct way to go about this. It's like ruffling feathers, fighting fire with fire. There's an easier way to do it. There's a more peaceful pathway, like showing someone the light, doing it from a higher vibration. It's a very like spiritual card pathway. It's like you sort of lost... You lost sight of the overall end goal, which in career and finances, yes, you want the money to be good, but in a team dynamic, you're only as good as your weakest player. So what if there's like this master manipulator of someone like, you know, pitting you against each other? That's not cool. Like, that doesn't feel good to me. But also, it's up to you to recognize, like, we're in this together, so we may as well find a way to collaborate. And I know that's a weird way of phrasing it, especially if you're going up for the same job. It's like, well, how would you collaborate? I think it's talking about trying to make peace with this person. If you are competitors, if you are going for the same opportunity or for the same project, or just inevitably, you know, one person can get the title or the success or the glory, there's something about, again, not fighting fire with fire, being a very dignified and like honorable component or player, or something about in the competition of it. Establishing harmony among the group. It's almost like establishing good karma. It's like by not looking at this person as your enemy, but almost as like a challenge to overcome in terms of your own spiritual path. It sort of has to do with the lens you're looking at this from. If you look at this as your opponent, as the words are not coming to me. It's like if you're looking at this person as not only your competition, but as like evil, as something that needs to be destroyed in your pathway, your mindset is off. You're not looking at it through a very like pure, innocent lens. You're not looking at it in a sense where your mind, body, and spirit are aligned to like raise your vibe and see things in a very like mature, harmonious way. You're looking at this person as someone that needs to be destroyed because they're standing in the way of your path. It's realigning yourself, and it does have to do with the way you're viewing things. You have a skewed perspective because this person likes to stir the pot. This person kind of likes to like shit talk or has a big mouth, and it is provoking you, and it's making you feel more aggressive and wanting to, you know, pounce on the opportunity and fight for it. But I'm just getting, with that mentality comes poverty. It's like spiritually empty. You're spiritually poor. You're lacking in what is needed to really take advantage of this like beautiful golden opportunity. Don't let it go to waste. Don't let it pass you by. It's like, I just keep hearing raise your vibration, raise your vibration. You can't look at this person as an enemy. I think that's where some of you are going wrong here. So what is going to be your challenge or focus? Yeah, the liar, cheat, or thief card. Someone who you flat out don't like. Someone who you feel like, again, stirs the pot. Someone who did you dirty. Someone who just, you don't trust them, or you don't like their way of doing things. I think you see them as sneaking around and doing things very like seclusive, or yeah. There's something about them that you're not into. And again, instead of fighting fire with fire or provoking them, let them do their thing and let karma take care of them. It's not your job to teach them the way to do it right. It's not. And I mean, I say that, but I mean, if this truly is a competition, I assume you're not going to be dropping them hints on how to succeed, but maybe you are. Maybe you choose to like change your viewpoint and decide, in however this relates to the scenario, maybe there is a way you can collaborate. Maybe there's a way you guys can share advice or communicate on some level where you're not handing over the job title, you're not handing over the promotion, but you're reestablishing, or you're hitting reset on the relationship, the power dynamic in the group, because it's feeling like, yeah, fierce competition, but it's not helping. It's like toxic energy that you can feel it when you walk in the room. It's very stressful. Not letting this person get to you. It's almost like removing them from your mindset entirely. Again, not looking at them as the enemy, as someone that needs to be beat or schooled or destroying the competition. There's very aggressive energy, and it's just like bring it back to you and what you're hoping to achieve. Yeah, the disharmony has been disrupted, and it's probably, for most of you, it has to do with this other person. It's like you view them as a skunk, like disgusting, like they're like a critter or something that it like a rodent, or they're like this little creepy critter, and you see them as kind of like a toxic energy in this group dynamic. There's a part of you that wants to school them and teach them a lesson, but again, I'm just getting it's not your job. You need to focus on the task at hand, which is like delivering the goods, right? It's like you're trying to make it here. Why are you focusing your attention when it's like you're trying to catch the skunk, but you already have a lot of game in your hand that could be delivered, like the final product? Keep your head in the game. That's what this is saying. Because you're letting this person rock your solid foundation that you have. How I was saying with the world, it's like the fixed zodiac signs, this tree is unshakable. It's well rooted, but this person is actually really testing your mindset, because for a second, I don't think you guys are starting to believe that. You're starting to doubt yourself and believe that like you are destructible, or like the snake in the grass is getting to you. You need to have like unwavering confidence, but it's like you need to rule with kindness. Again, something about a misuse of power that keeps coming up here. Releasing negative energy and negative thoughts that aren't serving you, that's going to help transition you into this new cycle, this new beginning, where the seed can grow and thrive. Because let's say you do rise to a power position, right? You make it to the top, you beat the competition. Ultimately, you're still working with these people who are probably going to have an effect on the money flow of the company. So if there's shady dealings going on and people are, again, liar, cheater, thief, any type of weird tactics to get ahead, their karma is going to be served up to them. So whether it's you or them, it's like you need to be impeccable with your word, and whatever actions you choose to proceed forward with, you have to own it, because it's going to be karma. You can do it in a way that is shisty and shady, or you can do it in a way that is trying to look out for the best interests of the group, of the team, of the finances, of the money flow, right? Something about collaboration and working together. It might be a means to an end to get you to the finish line faster, and do it in a way that doesn't shake the foundation. This is like the solid foundation card with wands. It's growth, it's expansion. That's the ultimate goal here. It's like that's what you're trying to achieve, but there's like too many cooks in the kitchen, or there's too many tempers, something like that. Yeah, it's like the work family. It's like you're trying to bring people back together and like hit reset. Especially with the world card, something about going into the new year, the power dynamic is really messy and screwed up. You kind of don't know who's reporting to who, or yes, something about there's confusion about where the power lies and where the power rests. And I am getting, there is like an older energy that, again, they aren't ruling in a fair way, and it's like the trickle down effect. So there's a lot of competition and like weird behavior going on. If you were to rise into position, it's like it could be your responsibility to help usher in some sort of peace, to reestablish like order and harmony in the group dynamic. Because I think in symbolically, they're saying like you could be the head of the household, and everybody needs to like know their role to make the family work, if that makes sense. It's kind of an odd way of putting it, but what is the help available to you? So I just want to reinstate, as your challenge or focus, it's don't, what is the expression? Don't lower yourself to their standards, rise above. Yeah, something about they're sneaking away and you're tempted to go after them and like teach them a lesson. Don't. Eye on the prize. Keep your head in the game. That's your challenge or focus. The help available to you is temperance. Yeah. Keep your cool. Balance your energy. Leo, right? You are the strength card. It's about like tempering that inner beast that we think of like the card of like taming the lion. It's like when you put your hand in the lion's mouth, you want to do it with ease and grace and gingerly so the lion doesn't chomp its teeth on you. It's kind of the same message I'm getting in temperance. It's the balance of fire and water, equal back and forth. Everybody needs to contribute equally to make this potion, to make this concoction work, right? To make it profitable, right? To grow and expand and become whatever we want this business endeavor to be. And also there's a need for healing the group. Again, bringing opposites together, people who don't get along, people who are going in opposite directions or view things in very opposite ways. It's getting everybody back on the same page so that you can like usher in this change together. You don't have to love the people you work with, but you need to be able to work with them and still accomplish stuff at the end of the day. Egos and tempers are getting in the way. I just keep getting that. There's a need to heal the group dynamic, and you may, even if you're not the leader, and I don't think most of you are, the person in the power position isn't doing shit to help. So it's almost like the responsibility to heal this and communicate among the group. It's falling on you. Yeah, it's reestablishing like a friendly communal group dynamic with your coworkers, with the team. What else do we need to know about temperance? Yeah, because balancing the dark and light energies, the opposing dynamics, the opposing tempers and people and egos, there's victory in balancing the dark and the light. This is the card of Cancer. It's the Chariot. If we want to get the Chariot to progress forward, these two sphinxes need to work together, the dark and the light. They're different. They have different experiences. They have different viewpoints. They have different backgrounds. If we can find a way for them to work together, there will be victory at the end of this. That's why this is in reverse. It's like the victory is delayed. Again, even if you are competitors and going up against each other, something about this dynamic is, it's not looking at them as some sort of like oppressor or evil source or someone that needs to be trampled in your pathway. It's, yeah, I keep saying it. I hate to keep repeating. It's just the messages, it just keeps coming through in the same way. Getting ahead by taking people down is not going to serve you. That is the overall message for this reading. Taking people down to get ahead is not going to serve you. It's honestly, it's going to result in this, guys. That's why this card is coming up. Consequence for your action. Do it with a clear heart. Do it with teamwork in mind, collaboration. See the light, the long-term goal to bring harmony and peace and money flow, right? We want that. Do it with love. Absolutely. I can't say it any other way. It's like, especially with the arrows, you have lots of Sagittarian cards. You may have strong Sagittarius in your chart, but Cupid and his little bow and arrows, right? It's like you're being tasked with being Cupid. You're being tasked to be that angel that's going to spread love and unity and joy back into the group dynamic. Because, yeah, it feels cutthroat. It feels like very heavy energy. I kind of feel uncomfortable in the energy. I don't know what to do with it. But these cards are so beautiful. It's like the changes that could be. The changes that could be ushered in, they're great opportunities. Again, the Knight of Money, the Knight of Love. Something about the emotions of the group are directly tied to how much money you guys are able to make. So if you're in a group dynamic and money is bad, money flow is shit, and maybe the boss is coming down on you and threatening, you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose your title. If you can reestablish harmony in the group and make sure everybody feels good working together, money is going to start flowing again. I know that's a very unusual message, but I just keep getting that. With this card, look, they work together, right? This is temperance. It's a back and forth, right? The fire and water, your cup to mine, friendly conversations, friendly competition, right? If it's a competition, cool. It doesn't need to be so cutthroat. It's not serving anybody. In fact, it's making it more challenging with the whole cutthroat thing. And there's something about doing the work on your own would actually be beneficial to intermingle among the group and share your experience, your tips, your advice and guidance, because something about that, wouldn't you rather win knowing it's because you're the best? And there's something very chivalrous about sharing information with your team that is going to help them, but still being the one that was chosen. It's doing the right thing. There's victory in that, in being a good leader, in bringing people from chaos and disharmony, hurt feelings, mental head games, bringing them to smooth shores, to clear waters, to reestablishing peace so that there's mental clarity, right? People don't feel like they're about to lose their job. It's getting your team or group out of this cutthroat dynamic so that you can all celebrate that, at the end of the day, you were able to kick ass together. A lot of this doesn't feel individual. It feels very, very collaborative. Advice or guidance, 5 of Pentacles. So what I'm getting with this is there's someone on the team that's been overlooked who actually has great ideas, but they feel extremely isolated or left out. This is also representing the idea that money flow isn't good. Someone is looking to either abandon the company, or maybe your company is under fire in terms we don't know if we can get our head above water. It's money's tight. It's because the group dynamic is, again, if it's your story, no shade, the group dynamic is terrible. There's really bad communication, and I will say poor leadership in this group. It's you've been pitted against each other and you haven't been trained to work as a team, so no one wants to come together. Everybody's fighting for themselves. It's you, Leo, are being asked to make peace with the group. Because money flow will be better when people's feelings aren't hurt. And I know that's such a silly message, but nights are supposed to bring change and movement into our life. The key to this change and movement is the heart space, making people happy, bringing them joy. And again, money flow. Opportunity rests in your hands. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to bring it to new places? You may have some very innovative ideas to share with the group, but I am just getting, it's not something that you can do on your own. It involves more than one person. And some of you are fearful to step up because you don't want to be the target of criticism. And you also don't want to be looking like a goody two-shoes, and if you're going to get praise from the boss, you also know that, again, it's your coworkers have been trained to be so cutthroat and kind of nasty and cut you down people. So some of you are fearing stepping up, but yeah, it's time to make a decision. You can't be in this juggling mode of how do I want to do this? How do I want to build it? There's something about taking action to just try it in one way or another. And if some of you might be thinking about leaving a job because the environment is so hostile, and if that's the case, I see value in that too. If you're not interested in leading this group, if it's such a toxic environment that you're ready to peace out and leave, I do sense that, yeah, by moving on, things will be better. So there are a couple different storylines coming through here, absolutely. With 2 of Coins, it's the ship is up ahead. By opening the door, by seeing a new perspective, by stepping away from the comfort zone, by what is familiar, there may actually be more out there for you. So again, if money isn't good here, you feel isolated, you don't like the environment or the people you work with, start putting out resumes. It's start sending things out into the world, start sending out your resume, your credentials, your whatever. Because you may get a bite back in the new year, especially if these are offers. These could be offers coming into you to offer you a new opportunity with a new company in a new position. And maybe that's why the Death card is coming up. It's you, with the completions of cycles, the world, you've learned everything you can from this scenario. So again, unless something changes, you're kind of tapped out. There's not going to be much change or movement until somebody decides to take those steps. So how I said this card is a graduation of sorts. You may have graduated from this job. It's you've gotten out of it what you need to. And so with the Death card coming up, it's that was the old that was the old version of your life, Leo. This is your card. Now it's like it's time to welcome in the new, right? It's time to rekindle the fire and get your passion and energy and your excitement, your enthusiasm. Trying to get those back and like take it to a new place where it is potentially more fun. There's just something out there for you. Traveling for a lot of you is going to be important. And then it's like you go from when you decide to take this opportunity and run with it, right? That ace that you're holding in your hand, there's the potential for it to grow. It goes from the ace to the 2. Your business may be growing, yeah, to, like I said, a larger city in a different country on the web. But it doesn't come without some sort of struggle and closing out a cycle at a place or with a person that no longer serves you. Justice, yeah, you need to reestablish the balance and the harmony in this situation for those who are interested. But if not, if this is toxic and you want nothing more to do with it, it's funny. It's like no longer justifying other people's actions or no longer justifying why you're staying. It's reestablishing balance and order. This is a card of Libra, the equalness of the scales, right? And that's what Temperance is too. You have a lot of cards that are like, ugh. Your truth, your justice, it may be away from this dynamic, from this group. Some sort of conducting your own business, going into business on your own, may be something that you're looking to pursue in the new year. And hold on, I'm gonna throw one more card on it. What else? You're the master of your own destiny. So if you want change and new things to happen, you're going to have to, again, you're going to have to like jump on that potential. It's not going to be handed to you. If you're looking to change jobs, start putting out resumes, go on the interviews, reach out to, people on social media, network, LinkedIn, contact people, let them know. Because there is opportunity for change here. Change and movement and growth. Absolutely. So in another company that you've applied to, there may be a person who's been there for quite some time and they're about to retire, in which case there may be an opening up for a position where you could fall in line with that company. And I'm not necessarily predicting this, but yeah, I do want to say someone who is much older and not fit to work anymore, they may retire or be laid off. And I don't think this is you. What I'm getting at here is that there would be room made in the company for someone to refill a position that has been like left behind or that needs to be filled, essentially. A recruiter might reach out to you and say that like a position just opened up and, do you want to come in and interview for the job? And this feels like making a solid offer to you though, Leo. Especially for those who work in the arts or with children. Something about cars or automotives, also music composition. Yeah, interesting. There's a few things coming through here. All right, this has been a weird reading, so I'm going to give you one more message. Sorry it's so long. This has been kind of like my most confusing one, so I hope it resonates for some of you out there. What is the most important message that Leo can take away from this spread? Most important message. Make sure you yourself are balanced. Take care of your mind, body, and spirit, especially when you get home at night, because this feels kind of toxic and unhealthy. And yeah, Temperance. I was gonna say, mind, body, and spirit, love yourself enough to know your limits, your balance, because honestly, you're sitting on Emperor vibes. So if you've been in a position, and interesting, it feels like you're getting old and gray, waiting for that promotion, for that title change, because if your boss is like narcissistic and not recognizing your potential, you sit on Empire vibes. It's Aries energy, the start, the headstrong confidence. The emperor builds the empire, and something about this, again, spreading love and joy and sunshine in the team. If you're not interested in fixing this team, and quite frankly, I don't really think it's your job. It's honestly like you're kind of saving the day by doing it. You may be better off somewhere else, starting a new business, going into business for yourself, or again, just having that business set in mind of, this is not my final like landing zone. This is like a temporary landing zone. Like, I'm on to bigger and better things. It's chasing your dreams and listening to what's in your heart. And again, balancing your internal energy. It would be so easy to pop off on this person who's aggravating you, who's like needling you, who's again kind of like shit talking or just low vibing. Be the bigger person. That's so important here. Temperance, balance. Balancing your dark and light energy is what's going to drive you forward and ultimately result in victory. You have both the victory cards here. Six of Wands, one of your cards, as well as Cancer. You may have strong Cancer in your chart. You also may end up working with a Cancer, Aries, or Sagittarius. This came up in your advice and guidance, and like victory is leading you to these people. So it might be you, right? It's like you're leading yourself to your own accomplishments and victory, but also one of those zodiac signs may be a key player. Cancer, Aries, Sagittarius. That's for some of you. Particularly in Aries season, you may get a really huge job offer, something that would be like significantly above the pay you've always had, or just an opportunity that seems too good to be true, but there's something to it. And again, it's payoff for aligning with your heart space, for like your light work, your love. It's a victory that's been well earned, because again, it's like boss lady mindset or emperor mindset. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonates for you, and I will see you very soon for more tarot readings. And Happy New Year. Happy 2020. Bye, guys.